battleships. Dry dock. Japanese battleship Hyuga is a unique ship. In desperate times that required desperate measures, she and her sister ship Issei were converted into hybrids of a battleship and aircraft carrier by shipbuilders from the land of the rising sun. It all started when the Imperial Parliament allocated money for the construction of 2 battleships within the emergency program of 1912, before World War I broke out. When World War I erupted, the funding was stopped, but the Navy still commenced the construction using funds that had already been allocated. The new ships were eventually named Issei and Hyuga, after Japanese historic provinces. The armament of the battleships comprised 12 356mm main battery guns, housed in 6 twin-gun turrets. The super-firing turrets were installed in 3 groups. 2 groups located at each ship's ends, and 1 at the central part of the hull. The main difference compared to their predecessors, the Fuso-class battleships, was the caliber of their secondary guns. The 152mm shells were deemed too cumbersome, so the battleships received new Japanese-made 140mm guns with naturally lighter shells. Hyuga entered service on April 30th, 1918, and the ship would be thoroughly upgraded several times in the following 20 years. The ship's anti-aircraft armament and propulsion were updated, and her armor and torpedo protection were reinforced. But the main upgrade was still ahead. In July 1942, after their defeat at Midway, where the Japanese fleet lost a significant part of their aircraft carrier forces, it was decided to refit Hyuga and her sister ship Issei into hybrids of battleships and aircraft carriers. 4 twin-gun turrets with 356mm guns were preserved, while in place of the 2 demounted rear turrets, a flight deck, with a hangar underneath it, were constructed to house and service airplanes that were launched using 2 catapults. The refit was officially completed in November 1943. Following that, Hyuga and Issei took part in the Battle of Cape Engano on October 25, 1944. This engagement was part of the largest naval battle in World War II, the Battle of Leyte Gulf, which took place between October 23 and 26, 1944. Due to a persistent lack of fuel, the hybrid battleship was put into reserve, and on July 24, 1945, she took 10 direct hits from dive bombers that caused heavy damage to the ship's hull and superstructures. By the end of that day, the ship had been abandoned by her crew in shallow waters near the naval base at Kure. On the high seas of World of Warships, Hyuga is a Japanese Tier 7 battleship.